Okay. Okay, so I'm back. I got on the phone. Remember I told y'all I was going to talk about the situation when I get home. So other situations had done prosper since then. So from what I'm being told is that I'm on a sit down. I'm going to be sat down. I won't be able to preach no more. It's okay. It's all right. It took me over 10 years to get so I got to say over 20 years cuz I was a missionary. I got ordained as an evangelist in 2012, a year after Tracy came. And before that I was a missionary. So I was a missionary for a while, and I wasn't preaching. I was only preaching every now and then, sometimes on Fridays. Now, when I was a missionary, I used to get a lot of invites. At that time, I was just testifying. I guess my evangelism or my ministering was coming out at the time, right? Because I had people that call me a minister too. So they were, it was coming out at that time. So different churches was asking me to preach. And each time they would ask me, and I would go back to my leaders would, what would they say? I don't want to lie on them. When I would go to them and I would say, well, I've been invited out to preach. Is it okay? No, I would go and ask them. Say, is it all right if I preach? Because such and such from such and such church asked me. They would like, no. No. And then we would have Bible study, and they would say, well, the missionaries should be out there preaching. The evangelists should be out there preaching. Why y'all not preaching? So I never could understand it. Then it came down. I'm missionary, so I'm over the missionary department. So I was getting services up, doing things for the missionary department. I was working with Mother Giles, so I was with her and I was getting services together, creating things and stuff like that. And I couldn't go nowhere with it. People would ask me, "Is it okay?" I would accept, right? I would accept. The people would ask me. I think I would ask them afterwards because I didn't know. They didn't tell me once I got ordained as missionary that I wasn't supposed to accept no engagements without coming to them. So when people first started asking me, I would accept it. I would be like, yes. And then when they would ask me, then I would go to them and say, oh, such and such asked me, missionary evangelist asked me, would I come to speak at their church? I accepted their invite. Then I was like, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to do that. And then it started going out to different churches that nobody isn't supposed to ask me. I don't know whether it was somebody else. Nobody isn't supposed to ask me without asking the pastor first. Okay? So, not knowing that's how it was supposed to be, but now I knew that when people would start asking me, I would go to them, ask them, ask bishop, ask pastor, stuff like that. He would be saying, yeah, it's okay, that's what you're supposed to do. But then when it come to the pastor, then it's like I'm walking around doing what I want to do, which is not true. I'm doing what you telling me to do. Because I realized they had a lot of issues with me because I was mainly because of that thing. And then when I would have the services, everybody wouldn't want to work with me, so I would have to wind up leading the service, doing the prayer, bringing the word. We couldn't preach on Sundays. Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons, we couldn't preach. Right? So the service, the missionary service would be however it's supposed to be, and then I would have to get a preacher, a speaker. And it would be so I would have to get a speaker from the outside because they had me so paranoid and so scared that I wouldn't even preach on my own Sunday, missionary. Then they said that, and this is after they said that it's okay, you could preach in the afternoon, but you can't preach in the morning. You can't go out and preach. Okay, no problem. That's no problem. I have no issue with that. So, as things went on, I was like, okay, no preaching. So I would always get people to come and preach. And it was so hard. It was like pulling teeth. Nobody would come to my services. Nobody would. I would ask different preachers. They wouldn't preach. The only people that I could call to preach for me and would always preach would be from St. Paul's. That's Pastor Wright. When I would get them, they would willingly. And it would only be, I think it was only one Pastor Wright. I would get Pastor Wright. Pastor Wright would come. And sometimes she would allow someone else to preach, either in her place or if it's youth time, I was over the youth department, so I was having the youth explosion concerts, so I would try to use people from them. After a while, they kind of backed off. I also was using people from, I want to name these churches specifically because I really appreciate I had to pass that. I really appreciate them support me. And that's Bishop McGinnis Church. They would get me and I would be on a platform service, and then they started getting me to preach individually by myself. And a couple of times they had me preach, and my church would never give offering. You know how you go, I see that. When people preach, this is what I see. People come to us to preach, whether it's somebody that another church is sending out to preach, or it's that pastor or that bishop that's coming to preach. They will always have an offering, right? With or without their congregation, right? If somebody from our church was going out to preach, the offering was sent. If the missionary department was, if a church missionary department was having a service, the missionary, well, I never was in charge of it. I never was given the offering to take or nothing like that. Now, I'm president of the missionary department, but I never was given the money, even if I went to another church. So I would go to Bishop McGinnis Church and I would preach. And, you know, if I knew that they wanted me to give an offering, like a Pacific offering, which they didn't do that often, then I would make sure I scrap it up. They had me preach one time when I was in the shelter, and they wanted the speakers to give $25. I didn't really have the money, you know, not to say I didn't have it to give to God, but I didn't have it on me. So I had it on my Cash App. And so I sent the Cash App money to them. They wanted it, I believe they wanted it in hand. But I told them, I said, I don't have the money. I think when I got there, they let me know. I don't want to say that they let me know or they didn't let me know. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They did let me know and I forgot. So when I got to the church, I spoke with somebody, one of the ministers, and I let her know that I was going to send it to them right then and there. So I sent it to her and she got it for $25. But I had went to them quite a few times to speak. But the church didn't take up an offering for me to take. And they knew I was going because I had to tell them. So half the time I would go on a Friday. So Wednesday we in church, they don't take no offering. But I would hear of the missionary going out somewhere, or maybe the evangelist going somewhere. Now, mind you, I am an evangelist, but I don't know nothing. Or I'm the missionary and I don't know nothing. Going somewhere, they had a missionary service over there, and we went out there, we had a good time. I don't know nothing about it. Now, mind you, I'm a missionary. Now, I could say if I was a lay member, you see what I'm saying? All right, well, you don't get mad. You a lay member. You don't know nothing. You don't supposed to know nothing. But, I wouldn't know nothing. And they would go on and they would get up and testify, talking about they had a good time. And I'm just sitting. It used to be, I used to be like, But I learned, the Lord taught me how to keep my emotionals off my face. Keep my emotions off my face. You know? So let's get to today. So just like I was saying earlier, the person was not there when I preached, and they wasn't there. Now I'm thinking about it. They was there last Sunday. They was there last Sunday. I don't think about it. But he had left. However it was. So what? Now I can speak on it because I don't really want to get on it too much in the downstairs. Somebody could have walked in. But it really hurt because people can just treat them any way they want. I mean, I be sitting there and I be hearing how they treat Bishop, how they treat Pastor Glover. I mean, she'll pop off and say whatever she gonna say back, but half the time Bishop don't say nothing. They popping off at Bishop and don't never say nothing. Get up in testimony talking craziness. Get up on the pulpit talking craziness. Whatever goes down in the pantry, talking craziness. All types of things happen in the church, craziness. But nobody is sat down. So here they had a meeting today in reference to a situation that's happening with our building across the street. And they know I don't vote. They've been having that meeting and voting for the longest. And my vote was always no. My vote was always no. Always no. Right? No maybe, no nothing. Just no. And then I got a text stating that the Attorney General or whatever his name is wanted to know why I wasn't voting. And I told them. I told the person that texted me. So now they had a meeting today, and they were supposed to be voting. So after everything came out, which before I didn't know, but now the stuff come out with what's really happening, and maybe not all of it, but some of it. And so now they're going to voting, right? And if I'm correct, the voting was supposed to be in reference to the church paying back or paying whatever debt they owe, or agreeing that they're going to do this when they get this amount of money. And I'm saying to myself, because it was just like so confusing, it was so confusing. And I'm saying to myself, I'm not putting my name on anything that I have nothing to do with. I don't have no money to pay off nothing. I don't know what House of Prayer got. I don't know whether they got money or anything. You know? So now you got me and everybody else in the midst of this situation of saying, yes, House of Prayer is going to do this. Yes, they do. Once they get this money, this is what they're going to do. They're going to do this. They're going to pay this, whatever. I don't know. But, I didn't know that they was going to have signatures and stuff like that. But I didn't vote. When I was walking, I stood up and I was going down the steps. And they asked me, was I going to vote? And I told them no. So my vote was already no. So the answer is no already. And I just didn't put the word in saying my vote is no, like that. But I said no. However, so I don't know, I'm being told, I don't know how true it is, that it was said that I can't preach to them no more. They can't say, I can't say nothing to them no more. I mean, I don't understand that. Because I got my own mind and my own opinion and my own thoughts. Oh, I'm going to sit her down. She going to be... That's something you wanted to do anyway, because you already told me you was going to do it. But at that particular time, the Lord didn't allow you to do it because your plans that you had to put me down didn't have nothing to do with me. It was on you. And this is the same thing. The push come to shove and the truth was to be told. You ain't letting me. You want my vote, but I ain't know the church was in that much debt. Or should I say, I knew the church was in debt. Well, not the church. It's not the church, it's the building. It's the building. So I knew that the building was in debt, but I had no idea why the building was in debt. In debt for property taxes. So that means the church wasn't paying the taxes. Whose fault is that? Okay. Dad, I gotta get that. Property taxes, water bill, and something with the financing. Department of Buildings. Departments of Buildings, Department of Finance, and the water bill. Why is your water bill so high if nobody over there? But hold up. People was over there one time. People was over there. So now people were trying to get, certain people in the meeting were trying to get answers and understanding of why the church has to pay a bill or pay violations or pay a bill rather, because the city had it and didn't do what they were supposed to do. And I'm trying to explain to someone, I could be wrong, but in my thought, and what the man said was that the building is owned by us. I'm going to say House of Prayer. So since the building is owned by House of Prayer, whatever goes down in the buildings, it reflects back on House of Prayer. So now House of Prayer goes and get a contract with someone that they really barely know, And the contract that they had with them was that they get connected with the city, and they should know better than to play with the city. The city don't play. You take city money, city gonna get their money back. Yes, 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 yes. You don't believe it? That's why people get locked up. They get their license suspended and all that, because you owe violations, you owe tickets, whatever it is you owe. When they catch up with you, you gonna pay it some kind of way. Whether you paid in jail, whether you paid in community service, or you paid in money. So apparently, what they saying, which they didn't bring that in the meeting, but what was said to me a while ago was that they got in connection with somebody who got in connection with the city, and the city gave them the money, did the building, they did the building over, and upon doing the building over, they put people in there. I guess it was called like a halfway house, and they put people in there, none but men. And then what happened? Next thing you know, the city comes, the city shut down the building, and now nobody can get in there. So we find out today that somebody was in there, somebody was upset, somebody called the city, and when the city came in, it was said that it's overcrowded. When the city get in there, the city check. I guess they found out there's a lot of violations, a lot of people living up together in there, but yet and still they saying that it wasn't overcrowded, there was no people in there. But the man that's representing, per se, the city is saying that the city is saying that they went over there and they saw all these people shacked up in one room, and it wasn't supposed to be that way. So it's overcrowded. So you getting overcrowded. In other words, you getting all these people in here, you collecting all this money, and the city gets in there and see it with their own eyes and shut the building down, close it up. Can't collect no more money from it. Can't do nothing in it. Just downright close it. So now in order for you to open up this building again, you got to pay all that. So it's not even, the person was saying that it was closed because it was overcrowded. But then if that's the case, where's violations and where's bills coming from? If it was overcrowded, you got the people out. So now you just got to pay, people that have been put up, the city put them up, because the city done put the check out there. Whoever it was took the check. What did you do with the check? When you got the check, you didn't pay for your violations. You didn't pay your water bill. You didn't pay this. You didn't pay that. So now it's coming back to haunt you. So now, get back to me, because I don't know too much. I don't want to talk too much. That's just what the stuff is about, some of it anyway. So now it comes back to me. Now you want me to vote. Oh, go ahead, sell the building. Sell the building. Let whoever it is going to buy the building pay off all the violations, and House of Prayer is going to pay this when they get their 100 and something, whatever the amount they get it. I'm just hypothetically speaking. And they're going to pay that. They said they're going to get a lift. They said they're going to get a bathroom. That would be good if they can get that, because it's Kathy needed, and if Tracy come to church, he going to need it. So that way he can roll himself. We can roll him right in the back of the church and let him use the bathroom. They want to get a lift because, you know, we got Sister Kathy. Sister Kathy, she got to be in a wheelchair. She could walk or whatever, but to get around, it's a wheelchair. I'm presuming. I don't know. I don't see her get it. I mean, I don't know what she does when she's outside the church. You know, she used to come in the wheelchair. So, now because I'm saying, I don't know what's going on. I've been there all these years. And just to throw this out there, and just like I said, not to say this should be, but I'm saying, I've been there for I don't know how many years, and I never got invited to be on the trustee board. I couldn't give no kind of opinion for the church. Nobody want to hear nothing I had to say in reference to church. If I tell them, you know what, y'all need to get Y'all get a computer and put it up there. The only thing that I can see that they listen to me in is putting the TV on the wall. I did say that. Y'all get the TV, get the Zoom going, whatever the case may be. And y'all can have your Zoom up there where that way people can see you and you can see them. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be trying to see yourself on a little computer screen. If you get a big old TV, everybody can see one another. You can interact with people. You can even get on other people's Zooms now. But House of Prayer they don't like to show themselves. That's the only thing that I ever saw them do that I said out of all the years that I've been there. And I've been giving opinions, and I've been trying to get them to what?
You're in church?
I'm busy right now.
Oh.
So I was surprised when it finally was done. And then they were saying, oh, we can't get a hold of the person. We don't know what's going on. So I was telling them, I said, listen, one monkey don't stop the show. He don't do it. Get somebody else. Why y'all sitting back waiting for somebody to do something? Sitting back waiting for somebody to do something when y'all can just get it done yourself. I mean, not get it done yourself, but y'all can get somebody else to do it. You know? So, Lord have mercy. I got to go down in prayer. I got to pray. As soon as I finish talking to you guys, I'm going to get in prayer. Because I gotta let this go. I got to let it go. I got to give it to the Lord. Otherwise, I'm going to hold on to it. I mean, I'm not going to do nothing drastic, and I'm not going to hate nobody. And I don't have that. Thank God all of that is out of me. I don't have no hate for nobody. Whatever people say and do to me or about me, I'm fine with it. My slogan is, that's all right. Somebody was talking to me tonight, and they was saying they was upset and whatever. They was going in on the pastor. So I asked them a question. She was saying, I asked her, did the pastor apologize? She said no. Then I asked her, did she ask what was upsetting you? No. So I asked, I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Why was you upset? Well, I was upset because they were sitting there talking about you. And then they want to say something about me. And then they want to act like I ain't there and like I ain't see nothing. I said, okay, let me ask something. Maybe I went into defense mode. So I asked her, I said, so if you felt let me just ask you this question. If you felt some kind of way about what they said to me, why you ain't say nothing? No, I didn't want, because I was going to be saying this and I was going to say. That's what I'm saying. If you telling me that you got upset because they were talking about me, in front of you, talking about me to you or in general to everybody, you felt some kind of way, why you didn't say nothing? You see what I'm saying? And I'm glad the Lord just let it go, let it come out nice and smoothly. Because I'll be honest, I was feeling hurt. I was like, you feel so... I said this to him. I said, I'm sorry, I'm just asking. I said, because they know that they can't say nothing in front of me. And I'm not going to say nothing. They can't talk about you or your cat or your dog in front of me. Because then I'm going to be like, okay, why are you saying that? That's not nice. You shouldn't be saying that. So why you didn't say nothing? I said, it's not right for them to be scandalizing my name in front of everybody. But somebody want to come to you and tell you that you ain't got no business acting like that towards your pastor or towards your deacon or whoever it is. But it's okay for them to do it. I said, God don't have no respect of persons. So I don't know why people feel like they can treat people however they feel like they want to treat them and don't get no consequences. Now, I'm not going to say nothing. But I'll be honest, if anybody in front of me talking about somebody, especially a saint, you see what I'm saying? I still have a title, My title is supposed to be respected, just like your title is supposed to be respected. But it ain't going to get respected if you don't have no respect for it. If you think I ain't got no business with it. And I have already told them, here, y'all can have your paper. Maybe this is the time for me to do it. Maybe I need to just take my little paper and give it to them. I did find it around here. Fold up my paper. When we have the meeting, I have my paper and I hand it over to them. Say, okay, here, let me give y'all this. Because me personally, I don't really feel like y'all have a reason to sit me down. I think it's more so that y'all did not like what I do, what I did. Not so much that it was wrong, because it wasn't wrong for me to have an opinion of whether I wanted to vote or not. I didn't have to vote. That wasn't a necessity. It's just like somebody want to take your picture. Before they take pictures of you, you got to get permission. How many times y'all fuss and say nobody ain't got no business recording nothing without their permission? So it's the same way with me, or same way with anybody. It's okay for y'all to do it. But when somebody else gets sense enough to know, oh, I'm not putting my signature on no paper. I'm not giving me, ain't nothing there for me to read to say my signature's here for. They can take your signature and do whatever they want with it. They can take that piece of paper and write whatever they want. All they got to do is scan it into a computer, and they can say that these people agreed that House of Prayer stole money. And you can't say nothing, because next thing you know, they be coming here talking about they closing up the church. Why y'all closing up the church? We got 16 signatures, 18 signatures stating that the church ain't doing the right thing. What? We ain't signing no paper like that. And they show everybody's signature. Now they got a paper with stuff to read. And now you take it. Let me see that. What? I didn't say that House of Prayer stole nothing. And I'm not saying that's what it's about. But I was told that the signatures was on a plain piece of paper with no reason for the signature. Just taking the paper, writing it around, and you sign your name on it. Now, that's what I was told. I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'm really hoping that that man didn't have a plain white piece of paper with nothing on it, and everybody putting their name and showing their ID. So you showing the ID proves to the man of who you are. So he could take that piece of paper and write whatever he wants. I don't know. So I'm not gonna really worry about it. I'm putting it in God's hands, because He said, "Choose you this day whom you gonna serve." So I choose to serve Him, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because we'll see whether I get called to the side. I'm gonna keep y'all posted if they have a meeting with me or whatever the case may be. I guess I can't really let y'all hear the meeting because it means I'm recording. And I would just come back and tell y'all what was said. If they do sit me down, I'll let y'all know exactly. And to be honest, I'm at this place now where I'm so tired of them threatening me with that. I mean, they didn't tell me that. They just said it in front of everybody. So now when I get up to preach, if I do get to preach, ain't nobody going to be paying me no mind. But it's okay. If the Lord says you ain't sitting down nobody, you going to get right back up there and keep on preaching. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to go right on up there and continue preaching. And I'm going to preach the messages that He gave me to preach now. I've been backing off, holding. I've been backing off and holding off. But I'm telling you, Lord, I'm telling you, if this is what you want me to do, you want me to preach these messages, I'm going to preach these messages. I know a lot of people going to be angry with me. They ain't going to want to hear what I got to say. They're going to be mad with me. People ain't even listening to me now. People don't even want to hear me now. They don't even come out to listen to nothing I got to say now. But Lord, if that's what you want me to do, He gave me 3 messages. I mean, I don't know them right offhand what they are, but I know it's 3 messages He gave me. One of them that's ringing in my head is your position in God, and it's a breakdown. It is definitely a breakdown. Let me see. I think there was another one. Let me see. That's one of them. Your position in God. Here Come Jesus is another one. Your position in the Lord. And subtopic is what's yours. Hell is real. You gave me quite a few. Okay, so I think those are the 3. Yeah, those are the 3. The first one He gave me was your position in the Lord. Subtopic is what's yours. The next one He gave me was hell is real. Yeah, He gave me quite a few. I got another one. Hell is real. That was 12/14/22. 7/24/22. He gave me a change in your DNA.